Hello and welcome guys in this first lecture of JavaScript. So basically in this lecture I'll tell you why we need JavaScript and what is the fuss about. So JavaScript guys is very popular these days, and probably like if you are into web development you should know at least you should have the idea about JavaScript, and it will be good to have good knowledge about JavaScript. So it initially started off like as just to make web pages alive, to make it to enable it to interact with the users. But as the years passed by, it grew, and now even we have JavaScript even on the server side in the form of Node.js. So probably like JavaScript has grown many fold, and it is very popular, so you can use it in coding as well, although it is not popular in that particular arena. But like for web development, yeah, like JavaScript is a must to know thing. So telling more about JavaScript, so it is so important that all the major browsers support it, and it is enabled by default in all the major browsers. So whenever there are new additions, so all the major browsers like Chrome, Firefox are updated to support that. So like if there is a browser, so every browser is having an engine which is running in the background. So there is an engine, so there are many engines like for Chrome there is the V8 engine. For Firefox the engine is named Spider Monkey. So these engines support JavaScript. So whenever a web page is fetched and the browser gets the JavaScript of that page, it parses that JavaScript, then it compiles it into the machine code, and then it is able to run it. And guys, browsers are and the engines are like written in such a way that the running of JavaScript is very smooth and very fast and very efficient. So yeah, so JavaScript, that's why it's very important, and it like to know how to handle page events, to make requests on the server, to do it parallelly, to animate things. So there are a lot of things you can do with JavaScript, and but there are a few things that you cannot also. So talking about those few things, first, that JavaScript cannot access files and directories in your computer. Node.js enables us to do that up to an extent, but using JavaScript in your browser you cannot, although there is the input tag in which you can allow to fetch a document and provide it to the web page, but explicitly JavaScript on itself it cannot. Second thing is a web page in one tab cannot access another in another tab. So if there are two pages which are coming from different sources, so according to same origin policy, they cannot access each other due to security reasons. There might be your secure private information on one web page, and the other web page might be malicious which you have opened, and it might access it and steal your information. So there are various reasons it is not allowed, although it is supported if both of them have enabled it for the basic sense, I'll say, as much as you need to know. So if it is implemented it that way, if two particular websites can communicate with each other, then they can. Otherwise a web page cannot access another web page coming from different source in a different tab. So these are the few things that you cannot do with JavaScript, and the main benefit is like it seamlessly and very easily it is able to communicate with the CSS and HTML of a page, and they all interact with each other very nicely, and a web page is functioning and running and interacting with you. So this is basically the basic about JavaScript. In the next lecture I'll start covering the syntax and how you use it and the modern features of JavaScript. Okay, so stay tuned and like if you like the video, and also subscribe. Thank you.